Greetings. Welcome back to the channel. We just say thanks again to everyone who subscribed to the channel recently. Really appreciate you guys, and thanks again to everyone who watching and liking my vibes. Well, people, let me just give a big shout out to Mama Africa. Big up yourself, Mama Africa. UK, big up yourself, Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, US, Germany, big up yourself. I saw you guys watching the thing, man. I appreciate it. Canada watching too. I really appreciate it. Well, people, let's dive into it. Yeah, I'm actually on my way to work, but I'm too early, so I decided, I'm gonna do this one at home. Yeah. A lot of people heard me talking about my son passed away and they would like to know the cause. They've been asking me what was the cause of his death. Well, today you're going to hear it. But before I get to it, I'm just going to, say a few things and y'all could drop in the comments. People, I got him a job at Kmart when Kmart was around. Yeah, I used to be in the mall and I know the HR, so I got him a job over there and it was cool because he was making his money, getting his tattoo with the young people like, getting fly and stuff, dress up, and all of that good stuff. But no, he wasn't someone that used to be in the street or nothing like that. So, I left work and go pick him up, take him home all the time. But, we always stopped at this restaurant in the year and, his favorite is jerk chicken and my favorite is jerk salmon. So we sat in a car and ate right there. And chit chat, whatever he has to tell me, he'll tell me because, that's how he is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, people, one day I left work early and it just so happened it was that day he was getting off early. It was like he did a 4 hour, yeah. So he was getting out early. So I told him, come, let's go to our spot and go get some food. So I took him over there, but he wasn't in a parking. So, I sat in the, because I don't want to get no ticket. So I sat in the van there. I told him, yo, go get yourself what you want and, get me some jerk salmon and rice and beans. So anyway, came back. So we there eating. So this guy from nowhere, he's an Indian, like a Sikh looking guy. You know what I mean? He came he came up to the van. And he's an Indian because you could hear his Indian accent. Like you like, oh, you're the dad, you're the dad. I said, yeah, I'm the dad, that's my son. And he just turned to my son and said, Dad is a good man, but your mom's hurt him though. Just like that, All right. We sit there still, cause I really didn't want them to spoil the moment. Cause me and my son was there and we was just laughing and talking, you know what I mean? But he was kind of crippled. And because he's crippled, I thought he was a beggar, but he was actually some magician, psychic, Indian magician, psychic. You know those Sikh people that wear the turban, yeah, and a lot of beard, you know what I mean? But I'd never forget his name. He says his name was Yogi, yeah. So he was there and he was like, Dad, you're a good man, very good man. You know what I mean? He went in his little pouch and took out some numbers and told my son, I want you to pick one of those numbers. And my son picked 8. And he turned to me and said, Dad, you pick a number too. So I picked 7. He said, Dad, why you pick 7? I said, well, 7 miles of Black Star Line and, the sevens, yeah, the heavens, you know what I mean? A Rasta thing and just like that. So he says, Dad, lucky 7, So he turned to my son and looked at my son. And then he looked at me and says, Dad, you're going to live for a very long time, Dad. We're going to go through a lot of tribulation. We're still going to live. but your son is going to die. Just like that, you know. And, you know, my son was like, yo, so Delvan now, that's my son. He looked at me. He says, Daddy, this is spooky. You know, I don't like what he's saying, man, for real. And, you know, he looked at me at the same time and said, Daddy, can you give me something, but just give me from your heart? You know, yeah, just give it to me from your heart, please. He looks like a beggar, and one thing with me, you know, I don't look down on people, you know what I mean? Who knows me knows, you know, I'm not materialistic, you know, I never look down on people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just went in my pocket and, you know, whatever money was in there, I didn't count it. I just say, yo, dear, you could have it, man, you know, get yourself something. And he says, you know, Dad, thank you, man, you know, you're going to live a long life, but it's a lot of tribulation and trial you're going to go through and leave. 2 weeks later, I'm inside this very, very room that I'm here recording. My ex, I haven't heard from her in a long time. This Christian lady. I used to date this Christian Jamaican lady. Anyway, she at, I hope she's in the best of health and, you know, doing good. Because she's a good soul, you know what I mean? It just was never destined for me and her to be together. But, you know, yeah, I can honestly say she's a good soul, you know what I mean? One of the very few good people I've came across on my journey. She called me up, Ricky. I know she's Christian. Ricky, I have this bad dream that you pass away. You're some psalm read them, but me, you know, the Rasta man, you know, I know the psalms and most of them I know them from inside here, you know what I mean? So I said, thank you still, you know. The next day, the woman now I'm dating, another Jamaican woman, she live uptown. I'm inside here. She called me next day, Ricky, I dream that you pass away. Here, I'm going to pray for you. And she on the phone praying. Because as a Rasta man, I welcome all prayer. I'm different from most people. So I told you guys in my video, I'm open-minded. I don't judge people. You know, I don't discriminate. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, if it's evil, don't try to get me to engage in it, though. That's it, you know. Yeah. Don't try to, you know, invite me into it or nothing like that. Because it's not going to happen. You know, I'm a good man. Not perfect, but I just want to, you know, be good. Yeah. God, there's some people out there, you know, they say there's no God. When the rain falls, it only fall on your roof and my roof, not their roof. When the snow, you know, comes around, it doesn't go into their, don't go on their porch or their backyard or not, just our place it goes. And when the storm comes, it blows down everything, but there it doesn't touch them. And when the earthquake comes, it don't cause. They say there's no God. Yeah, yeah. But I won't get into that one, you know. But anyway, she was on the phone and she was praying, and I welcome her prayer. And I said, Ricky, it's so real. What do you think of now, people? I'm a spiritual man. And sometimes some people that knows me real good think that, you know, I'm a psychic too, you know, I could just know things, you know what I mean? So, but I have that gift that I just kind of see things, you know, yeah. I don't know, sometimes it scares me. Yeah, even me, when I get a dream, it scares me sometimes, because, but no, not anymore now, because there's a lot of stuff going on now. So if I get a dream, it's hard to tell if it's really my dream or it's artificial, you know what I mean? Because through my research, I know these things, yeah, so I don't really be like that no more. But anyway, months pass. I'm inside this very room one Saturday afternoon, and my son called me. But when I saw the number, I wasn't going to answer, because what happened, the the number, I didn't know it, you know what I mean? And because I didn't know it, I wasn't going to answer it. But some say answer the phone. So I says, hello, and I hear the person says, Daddy, it's me, Delvan. I was so happy to hear from him, guys, heard from him, guys. For one point, he wasn't speaking to me. I didn't do him nothing. You know? He just stopped speaking to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, Delvan, what happened? So he was telling me, you know, something, you know, that's going on. But whatever he was telling me was going on, it was against me. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, to be honest, I don't want to hear that. You know, it was you, because I have two sons. But the older one looked the youngest, because the youngest is about 6'3", 6'4", and Delvon is about 5'9", some 5'9" and a half, 5'10". You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, yo, I don't want to hear this today. It was you who I wanted to come and live with, because his younger brother used to live with me. You know what I mean? For a while. Yeah. But while I was telling him that, I didn't hear him saying nothing. And the phone didn't sound like it hung up or nothing, no dial tone, no nothing. I'm like, Delvon, 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 Delvon. He's not answering. So I lay down and said, it's typical Delvon. I wonder what's going on. But something was bothering me inside, so I called up his brother. My next son, I said, yo, what happened to Delvon? I said, yo, he's bugging, man. He just stepped outside and he's bugging. They're born here in the Bronx, he's bugging. I was like, all right, forget it. So, got up, got a shower, went to my favorite spot, bought some food, and went to the cab base, because I was driving taxi with my car at the same time. So I was there driving. So like about 7 o'clock the night, I caught a trip. I go right by a hospital named Bronx, Lebanon. Not Bronx, Lebanon, St. Barnabas. So when I went there by St. Barnabas, I was just looking at the sign and I was like, damn, St. Barnabas Hospital. Didn't know my son is in there dead. But I was just feeling a way inside still, you know what I mean? Like something missing. So I went back to the cab base and I picked up 2 more trips with 2 young ladies, and I dropped them about 3 blocks away from the hospital. And I said, no, I don't like what I feel, and I went home. So the next day, I'm going to work, like about noon. I received a message to call the precinct. I was like, damn, precinct. But I thought this is, the number precinct or the number precinct wrong. But because I'm like, damn, this person called me from the precinct. These are the cops. So what up? No, I hope these ladies don't tell no lies on me, because people around here, they're very lying, very wicked. Yeah. I'm so happy I stopped driving the cab thing, guys. It was so addictive. I just stay at my job now. And I just, take care of the bill, and that's it. So anyway, but I called the wrong precinct, and the police lady told me, that's the wrong precinct I'm calling. So by the time I hung up, the phone rang again, but it's an unknown number, because I know the cops, they're calling me. I said, let me answer. So I answer the phone. And the cop said, Ricky? I said, yeah. He says, your son is in the hospital. But I thought it was the younger one, the one that I was on the phone. I says, no, Delvon. Still don't know that my son is dead. When I went over there, I saw his mom was there. Yeah. His mom is a registered nurse. So I was surprised too. She was just caring for him, covering up and stuff like that. Because they had him hooked up, ceiling and stuff like that. So I thought he was like still alive. So when I went on the floor, saw this Jamaican nurse that I know. She from St. Mary and Nato Bay. So her name is Sharon. I said, Sharon. And Sharon was like, yo, Richie, that's his son. Handsome boy, man. Look just like you. My feet so bad. God, I still don't know my son dead, dead. So I go inside the room. The doctor came over and said, yo, he's dead, Yeah, but we just keep him alive because they're going to donate his organ. And, what happened, people? He committed suicide. Yeah, he jumped off the building. They said the impact when he landed, they couldn't do nothing. Couldn't save him or nothing like that, you know what I mean? So just to donate his organ. People, you see, it happened 2017, somewhere around 2:45, yeah, on 15th of February. And from that day until now, I knew something is not right. Because I'm a spiritual man. So now I started doing extensive research till, I'm getting answers. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and most I can say, my daughter, she just turned mentally ill all of a sudden. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to, leave it at that because you see, YouTube is probably one of the greatest thing right now, and yeah, and anything anyone wants to know, they have to go to YouTube. The only thing I can say is that if you're a relative or a friend and they come and they complaining about certain things, don't play deaf ears and don't look at them like they're crazy. Go research, guys. If you research, you're gonna be aware. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be in a different state of mind. Just don't. You have a friend and your friend. You know, say your friend is a good person. You know them for years, and people come telling you your friend is this and friend. Don't up to that. Don't up out and don't up out. You know what I mean? My son, as a father and a spiritual man, I know deep down my son that you know just look like he was stressed out and yeah, hopeless. That's why he committed suicide. No, and it's not his mom either why he commits suicide either. It's not his mom. You know what I mean? Yeah, put it like that. So no, dear got it. My son committed suicide in 2017. And I'm still here on the journey. Yeah, giving thanks to the Most High because there's people out there who say there's no God. Like I said, they say there's no when the rain fall, their house don't get wet. Only you and mine. You know what I mean? When the snow comes around, the snow don't touch them. God, they say there's no God. Well, people, if you like the thing, give me a thumbs up and then you can drop in a comment, say it. Yeah, really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who, leaving me nice comments, really appreciate it again. But guess what now? I'm gonna have to hit the road because I'm heading to work. But before I go, I just want to say thanks again. More love, more blessings, and more prosperity. Anywhere you guys at, I hope everyone are in the best of health. Bless up.